The Republic did not fall because of war. It did not fall because of the Separatists. It did not fall because of the dark side. It fell because one man spent decades setting up every single domino and then walked calmly into the Senate and knocked them all down at once. His name was Sheev Palpatine, and this is how he did it. What makes Palpatine terrifying beyond the Force is his patience. He did not seize power the way a warlord does. He grew it. He manufactured crises and presented himself as the only man calm enough to resolve them. He controlled exactly how every person around him perceived him. What follows is not a theory. It is the documented record. The evidence is about to speak for itself. The vote of no confidence. Queen Amidala arrives at the Senate furious. Naboo is under siege and the Senate will not act. Our Senator Palpatine sits beside her and explains with quiet patience that Valorum is compromised and new leadership may be the only path. He plants the idea and steps back. Amidala calls the vote herself and believes the decision is entirely hers. And what makes this insane is that without this single motion, Palpatine never becomes Chancellor and the entire plan collapses before it begins. The most consequential political act in galactic history was carried out by a grieving queen who had no idea she was executing someone else's strategy. This is where Palpatine stops playing politics and starts playing people. The emergency powers grant. The Separatist crisis breaks on the Senate floor and Palpatine feigns reluctance. He accepts unlimited authority as a burden rather than a prize. What the Senate does not know is that Count Dooku is his own apprentice and the Separatist movement was a controlled burn he set himself. Both sides of the war are his. Jar Jar Binks, a delegate Palpatine had cultivated as a willing and oblivious proxy, rises to make the formal motion. The Senate erupts. And what makes this insane is that the Republic just rewarded Palpatine with emergency powers for a war he designed, using an army he arranged, triggered by a movement run by his own apprentice. He created the emergency and accepted the remedy as a sacrifice. Do you think anyone could have stopped this? The army was paid for. The Separatists were real. Is the outcome inevitable? The second Obi-Wan transmits from Geonosis? Drop a comment. I want to know if there was a window or whether Palpatine sealed the exit years earlier. This is where the plan stops being ambitious and starts being genuinely evil. The Fives cover-up. Clone Trooper Fives discovers that every soldier carries a hidden inhibitor chip capable of triggering an overriding command. He brings this evidence directly to Chancellor Palpatine. In that meeting, Palpatine frames Fives as a deranged assassin. The Jedi believe it. No investigation follows. Fives dies shortly after, having warned Anakin something is wrong, but without credibility for anyone to act. And what makes this insane is that Order 66 lives or dies on this cover-up. Fives had the chip. He had the data. He was one credible conversation away from unraveling the mechanism that would destroy the Jedi Order. Palpatine improvised a frame-up in real time and it worked completely. If the last move was about power, this one is about something far more dangerous. This one is about trust, the grooming of Anakin Skywalker. Across years of the Clone Wars, Palpatine maintains a private relationship with Anakin built to look like mentorship and designed to function as a psychological operation. He amplifies every grievance Anakin carries against the Jedi Council. He validates every fear and positions himself as the one person who sees Anakin's potential without conditions. The Jedi Council, the most perceptive, Force-sensitive institution in the galaxy, detects none of this in real time. That is not a failure of intelligence. That is a measure of how precisely Palpatine worked. And what makes this insane is that by the time he makes his final move, Anakin does not feel manipulated. He feels understood. That is the most dangerous manipulation in the entire saga, the Darth Plagueis speech. Anakin is being consumed by nightmares of Padme dying, and he is entirely alone with that terror. Palpatine invites him to the opera and tells him the legend of a Sith Lord who could use the Force to prevent death. He delivers this as philosophy, not recruitment. He describes the door and lets Anakin's desperation push it open. And what makes this insane is the precision of the timing. Palpatine almost certainly knew about the nightmares before Anakin said a word. He chose that night deliberately. He placed the idea of saving Padme through the dark side directly inside Anakin's deepest fear and left it there to grow. The Mace Windu trap. Mace arrives to arrest Palpatine, and Palpatine attacks with full Sith fury before allowing himself to appear utterly defeated. He contorts his face into something broken and pitiful. When Mace raises his blade, Anakin arrives and faces a choice Palpatine has been engineering for a decade. Anakin intervenes. Windu dies. Palpatine reframes everything instantly. The Jedi attempted a coup. Anakin saved the Republic. There is still a chance to save Padme. And what makes this insane is that Palpatine was winning this confrontation even while losing it. He never needed to defeat Windu himself. He needed Anakin to cross a line that could never be uncrossed. Darth Vader was not created by Force. He was created by a man who spent 10 years making sure that when the moment arrived, Anakin Skywalker would choose it himself. The Republic did not lose because it was weak. It lost because one man built both armies. He wrote both scripts. Why, he manufactured every crisis and positioned himself as the solution, and the galaxy applauded him for it. So here is the question: was Palpatine the greatest villain Star Wars ever gave us because of how powerful he was? Or was it because by the time anyone realized what he was doing, it was already decades too late? Drop a comment below and tell me which move was his most terrifying. Because I think the answer tells you everything about what kind of story Star Wars is really trying to tell. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Until the next one.